This morning we're going to talk about some things related to home fire safety. Specifically, we're going to talk about smoke detectors. I know we've talked about this before, but I feel like it's very important to talk about this probably every year. So some things that are coming up next month, we will change the time on our clocks. And I tell our kiddos when we go to school and do visits, we always want to change our batteries at least once a year. Doesn't matter if you do it in the spring or fall, but when you change your clock, one of those times, let's change that battery. We want to take this smoke detector down off the ceiling. They're very easy. They have tabs, and we'll get some zoom in pictures of this a little later. You want to take this detector down off the ceiling. You want to take the battery out, look at the date on the battery, and change the battery. So as you're looking at that date, why I want you to look at that date is when you put that fresh battery in, you want to put a battery in that's obviously new compared to the one you're taking out. Once you replace that battery, put it back in service, put it back on the ceiling. Some good things to do when you take it down off the ceiling. Check and see. We all clean our homes, but dust does tend to collect on these. So you want to lightly blow these out with a can of duster or a light air compressor. You can even vacuum them out with your vacuum cleaner. Very soft and easy. And as you do that, look at your date on it, and we'll zoom in here later. This particular detector here is dated April of 2020. If your detector is older than 10 years old, it's probably time to go ahead and replace it. They have things in them that break down, and dust and stuff gets in them and really compromises how well they're going to work. So if your detector is over 10 years old, it's a good time to go ahead and replace it. So that's my one that's battery only. This particular detector here does have the plug on the back. We'll get some zoom in pictures later. You want to be very careful when you pull it down from the ceiling and unplug it from the ceiling. And it is battery backup, so you're going to change the battery in it as well too. And people ask all the time, if it plugs into the ceiling, it's hardwired, why is it battery backup? We have power outages, so you want to make sure your detector is still working when you have a power outage. So that's very important to change those batteries as well. Got another detector here I want to talk about. This is a completely encased, and I'll tell you, I'm not a fan of these. And the reason I'm not a fan of these, they have no battery you can change. And once this detector activates, you must replace it. You're not going to replace a battery or reactivate it. Once it has activated, this is a throwaway item, so you're going to have to replace that detector in one whole fell swoop. So it's not my favorite. My favorite is probably the battery only, and I realize we have folks that have them hardwired. And the reason I think this is my favorite, it makes you change that battery once a year. On the ones that are hardwired, folks can forget, you know, they'll think it is hardwired, it's got its own power source, and that is true, except when your power is out. So it still has batteries it needs to have changed as well. Right now, a lot of our retailers are running some specials on these. You can look online, most anywhere. You'll find some deals where they're sell two and buy two, get one free, things such as that. And it's not only on smoke detectors. Let's talk a little bit about fire extinguishers. I mentioned that earlier. So people ask all the time, what type of extinguisher should I have in my home? Doesn't matter to me. You can have the biggest you want, the smallest you want. This is the ideal size. This is what's called a 1A 10BC. It's about a 5-pound extinguisher. Where do we want to put it? We want to put it where it's accessible. We want to hang it on the wall, whether it's in the laundry room. If you have an attached garage to your house, somewhere near that door that goes out into the garage is a good place to put this. Where you don't want to put it is under the sink. A lot of people talk about they've got it under the sink. If you have to go looking for it in case of a fire, it's not where it needs to be. So I know they're not the most sightly thing. It's not a beautiful painting hanging on the wall, but they do need to be hanging on the wall where they're accessible. And if you're going to have one in the home, make sure some folks in the home know how to use it. Make sure the husband and wife, mama or papa know how to use it. And some of our young adults, you know, a 13-year-old child can operate this as well. Make sure they've got some training. When you're looking at them, you want to make sure it's in the green, make sure it's fully charged. And a lot of these are a one-time use as well. So once you use this, you're going to use it, replace it, either recharge it or throw it away. This particular unit here is a one-time use only, so it's not a rechargeable unit. Again, good idea to have one of these in your home, somewhere where you think you're going to need it. Laundry room, out in the garage, somewhere like that. Always have it accessible. Have any questions for us, please reach out. Facebook page, 270-685-8440. We can answer any and all questions at Daviess County Fire. Hope this video has been informative. Thank you and have a great day.